This is Between the Lines. I'm Tatum Everett alongside Ben Leber, and the Vikings snap a 2-game losing streak, winning an NFC North battle 27-24. Ben, you were on the sidelines. What did that feel like as the game was progressing?
You know what's funny about this, Tatum? You would think if you're at home watching this and you're watching the game, you're like, oh my gosh, well, the sideline has to be like exuberant, like, constantly like, jumping up and down and excited. It was a really strange, but I think positive way that they handled the success of today.
Nice.
It was very businesslike.
Okay.
The way that they would come off after a successful play. I mean, obviously there's high fives and daps and stuff like that, but it was immediately sit down. They never like felt like, oh, we've arrived or we're going to win this game. It was like this determined focus and confidence that they had on the sideline. And I thought that was like really refreshing, and it was the right attitude to have.
For sure. I mean, this is a team that has not won in Ford Field since 2020, and they get the victory today. I want to first and foremost with J.J. McCarthy and the way that he played. What did you evaluate from McCarthy in his third career NFL start?
He was a stud.
Right?
He was a stud. I mean, he had the command. Even in his first two games, I thought he would come up to the line. He did a really good job of assessing the play, trying to get the offense in the right play. But there seemed to be a little bit of freneticness to it. Today, he did all of those things, but it was much more measured and calculated. And it seemed like it was like in rhythm of the whole offense from the time that he broke the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. I really thought his decision-making was impressive. Whether it was busting out of the pocket, feeling pressure, keeping his eyes down the field to try to make a bigger play and not just use his legs. He did eventually use his legs later in the game. But I thought his time to get outside the pocket and try to get something to develop, the intention was there.
It was your second chance moments you were talking about.
It was the second chance moments that we were talking about before.
Yes.
He did some of that. And even in the red zone over here later in the game, he felt the pressure and threw the ball out of bounds when he broke the pocket as to not take a sack. And I just thought his head's in the game. His head is in the right situation. He's very present. And then some of the throws that he had. I mean, that first throw that he had when we had the amazing kickoff return to start the game, or the punt return.
Yeah.
That front left corner of the end zone, it was dropped, but it was a perfect
The
pass.
one to Addison?
The one to Addison.
Yeah, it was very,
so
very well
from
thrown.
that pass all the way to the dagger pass at the end of Naylor, I thought his accuracy is on point. He was really impressive today.
How did you see Kevin O'Connell's play calling and game design, I guess you could say, uplift JJ in this game?
Well, running the football. We have talked about it a lot, and the commitment to the run, and I thought the styles of runs that we had was much more downhill. It was between the tackles. I do feel like at times we've tried to bounce things too much to the outside and play the perimeter game, which, I know it's all game dependent and depends on what the defense is trying to do to you, but I think the ability to take the aggression to this Lions defense, it gave the whole offense some confidence that, hey, look, we're as good as they are. We're as physical as they are. We can be that physical team for 4 quarters. And so I think exerting our will, getting downhill, having Aaron Jones be that spark until he got banged up. And even Jordan Mason at times, he was seeing some cuts and getting more vertical than I think he has in the past. So I thought all of that helped out JJ. Obviously, play action is a big part of our game plan, and we were able to execute because we could run the football.
Ben, how about this? 29 rush plays, 23 pass plays.
I think that's more like it, right? I think it's more like it.
And also, how much of that has to do with the fact that you had the 4 starters on your offensive line that you went into this season hoping you'd have in there, 4 of the 5.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I was talking to Brian O'Neill about that, and he's like, he just kind of laughs. He's like, it's the first time he himself has gone full speed with the full pack on a Wednesday practice, on a Wednesday type of tempo, and then he does it with that group of guys, and that was the way it was throughout the week. And so, it is huge. I mean, I can't even tell you the importance of how important it is that you got all 5 of these guys that are now communicating on Tuesday when they're watching film, to Wednesday practice, to Wednesday post-practice on, okay, what do we do right, what do we do wrong, all the way into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You saw the execution today. They did a great job in pass protection. I think sometimes we've been a little leaky when it comes to the inside twist game, and that's communication. That's understanding, like, if I'm getting pressure from this gap and this guy's running away from me, well, something's probably coming back, and we didn't see any of that today.
It was a very complimentary they played complementary football today. So let's talk about the defense, which I know you're probably ready to go.
Oh,
with.
yeah.
The defense holding them to only 65 rushing yards and a touchdown. Those 25 yards, if in the first half, set the tone for the entire game and how they were able to defend that. What was different about this front seven for the defense?
So yesterday when we were talking about this, I did a demonstration.
You did, yeah.
You want me to demonstrate again? No,
My
I'm not.
shoulder.
I'm not going to demonstrate again. But I do think that they did a lot of what we were kind of talking about, where they were attacking the gap as opposed to the player. And even if they got out of gap, they get reached, it doesn't work out, they're still attacking vertically. I thought Hargrave had one of his best games, probably if not the best game that he's had as a Viking. And a lot of it was because he just took this vertical track of like, I'm going to be unblocked. Now, we might go back and watch the tape and say like, oh, well, he's out of gap. Who cares? If you're going to make the running back stop his feet and you're going to cause chaos behind the line of scrimmage, that's what stopping the run is about. And not only he did it, but Jonathan Allen did it as well. Redmond does it every single game. I think having Van Ginkel back, I mean, he did so many good things. When they're blocking down and they're bringing another guy across, I mean, he does a good job of digging that guy out. I mean, that is his gap, is this inside gap. And by doing that, it's a hard block to get underneath. But when you do that, you make the running back bubble around, have to readjust his footwork. He did that several times. So, all guys up front, all 7 guys up front did a great job.
5 sacks, 11 quarterback hits. The defense just handling business out there. As you said earlier, they had that business-like mindset. They handled that business against Jared Goff, who came into this game with a 76% completion rate.
Yeah.
They held him to 67% completion. What kind of a difference does that make? I mean, he didn't look like he had any rhythm.
No.
What did you observe from what they were able to affect him with?
And listen, Goff came in with a 73% completion rate against the blitz itself, and we are blitzing defense.
Right.
And I thought, and what I was thinking was before the game, like, can we disguise enough? We get a savvy quarterback, a veteran quarterback that seems like he's kind of picked us apart, like he's figured out B-Flow's defense. But can we throw enough wrinkles in? And we did. I thought the pre-snap disguise, whether we were going to bluff and bail, whether we were going to blitz from depth, and only tip it when we had to tip it. I thought the execution was perfect. It was flawless. The way that Harrison Smith was able to come off free off the edge, that only gets set up because you give them something to think about on the other side or away from Harrison Smith. And so he was disruptive as well. Again, Bernard
Ben,
was
that pregame chat we had yesterday. Between the blocking demonstrations and the ability to say, okay, they have to disguise their pressures really well. I mean, you kind of called it.
Well, I don't know if I really
,
called it, but
I'm giving you some credit.
I know, but you still have to go out and execute, and the guys did that. And the thing is, like, it's harder to do than what it sounds like because you need all 11 guys to be on the same page. You might have one blitz where, like, okay, Eric Wilson might not be tipping the blitz even though he's blitzing, but if the other guy on the other side tips the blitz, well, then you kind of ruined it for me, which, by the way, he had an excellent game as well. All
right, so now the Lions have obviously lost in the NFC North. The Green Bay Packers lose today. The Bears do win, and the Vikings win. So it kind of muddies this NFC North up a little bit. What does this win do for the Vikings heading forward now at 2-0 in NFC North road games?
I'll be honest. I think a lot of people thought that if we came into Ford Field and we lost, that the season was sort of over and we're in development mode. I don't think that we're with a performance like this, with the way J.J. McCarthy commanded the offense and the things that he did, this commitment, this renewed commitment to the run game and being physical. If everybody stays healthy, I don't know why we can't win this damn thing.
All right, let's go.
I think the NFC North is wide open, and we should be players in it.
All right, one final thing before I let you go. Shout out to the special teams today. Again, we talked about complimentary football. I can't leave them out. Between the blocked field goal compliments of Levi Drake Rodriguez and
El Presidente.
El
Presidente. I'm trying to get that thing going.
I was
LDR.
LDR. And then you've got Miles Price, an absolute weapon now in the return game. Really, really stunk about that 99-yarder. But anyway, I mean, when everything's firing on cylinders like that, how can you build on that now moving forward as you face the Ravens next week at home?
It lets every opponent that we play, it puts them on notice that you have to play complementary football and you have to play 3 phases of football because we're coming after you. And not a lot of teams can match every team in 3 phases. And so hopefully we're going to be a tough out. and we'll get a lot of wins because, you know, if one phase goes down, we have two others to pick us up. And it was a special day for all of our guys.
For sure. The Vikings are now 4-4 on the season. They get Kevin O'Connell's first win at Ford Field as the Vikings head coach. It's nothing but dubs around here, Ben. Really excited about that one. We hope to see you guys at US Bank Stadium next Sunday when the Vikings host the Ravens.